Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. Ciao. I had to come on here and talk about this. Let me just take this down real quick just to make sure my audio is working correctly. Yes, okay. Because I don't trust this sometimes. But this is a crazy story. I woke up to this story. Um, and I want to break it down from a couple different angles because I'm going to be honest about like when I watched the first video and then the second video and what my thoughts were. So initially, when I woke up this morning, the first video I saw about this story, the victim's name is Christian Toby Obumseli. Okay, I believe he's Nigerian. Excuse me. We're gonna unpack a lot of stuff, y'all. So I woke up to a video from Paris Milan, and disclaimer, I like Paris, but there's some things I don't agree with. But I watch all types of people, right? And so at first I was like, Paris, damn, this cold blooded. Like this man died. Like, what did he do? Is it just because he was with, hey Toya, good morning? I'm like, you're just mad, like, because he was with a white woman. I'm like, but you're a divester. I don't understand. I was like really trying to understand. So then, like, one thing I will give Paris credit for, she's very, very thorough. Good morning, Clyde. Clyde, she's very thorough, and she broke it down, honey. She broke it down, and she brought the receipts. Okay, this is why I put this on my community wall, because I put both the Plain Exchange video and Paris Milan because they were addressing the issue from different angles, but they both came with receipts and facts. Paris's angle was, look, this dude's been he's been a divester. She doesn't get upset with people who chooses to date outside the race because she's always encouraging black women to actually do that. I have thoughts about that, but we'll unpack that towards the end of the video. Um, but what she did say was that this guy has been like not just a divester, but he's been like down in black women. It's not about him being with this white woman, because I'm like, this seems a little hypocritical here, Paris. It's about the fact that he was constantly talking down about black women, elevating white women. It wasn't just about a preference. Okay. And there's actually tweets and receipts and social media things about this. He was co-signing a lot of stuff that like people would say that was racist. Just really crazy. It was really, really crazy. So I was like, okay. I went from being like skeptical. I had my eyebrow raised, like, this man died. Why are you talking about, who cares if he was with a white woman? He died, and this looks like a domestic violence relationship, a toxic relationship, if this is how it ended. So then when she broke all the receipts down, I was like, okay, there's definitely layers to this. Excuse me, I still got this cough, y'all. You know, let me look at this from a different angle. I first want to say, before we go into the angles, may this man rest in peace. I don't care what he did and said. This man died a tragic death, and the way it's unfolding is really messed up, and we're going to talk about it. That's me, number one. Like, he's a human being. Okay, even if he was out here trashing, black women and stuff, it's still tragic the way he died. So one of the reasons why Paris Milan did her video is she said there's a lot of black women jumping on the train of like, oh my gosh, and they don't know his history. Once again, regardless of his history, rest in peace to Christian. I really hope justice is served, because this sounds like a whole bunch of evil mess that went down. Okay, so I want to make that clear. So that was how Paris broke it down. I really encourage you guys, after this live, go and watch both of those videos. Excuse me. Then I watched the Plainest Jane's video, and the Plainest Jane, honey. Okay, I'm just going to talk about the story, and then the Plainest Jane's video will make more sense once I unpack it. Apparently, Christian was stabbed to death, and I don't even care at this point. Google don't like me. They stay turning my videos to orange, so I'm going to say whatever words I want to say, and they could deal with it. I don't really give a shit anymore, because you censor yourself, you do all this stuff, and they still turn that shit orange, and it's just not that deep to me. So we're just going to talk here, okay? So anyway, he was murdered by his girlfriend, okay? Now, the media is not releasing her name, and we're going to talk about why, okay? He was murdered on Sunday by his girlfriend, Courtney Taylor. Okay, all of this is alleged. Okay, I just got to say that. Okay, it's not really, but all of it is alleged in terms of some of the details. It's not alleged that he was murdered by this woman, but a lot of the other things we're going to get into are alleged because we don't know. Excuse me. Okay, she stabbed him to death in their. I don't know if they lived together, but it was a high rise luxury apartment. Okay, and he died from his injuries once he got to the hospital. All right, now there's a couple statements I'm going to read a little later on, but in some of these statements, it kind of alludes to the fact that they don't know if he died in his sleep or if he was awake for the ordeal, which is kind of crazy. Like they're protecting a lot of details about this case. Okay, we're gonna put this picture up here so you guys can see. Okay, shout out to everybody who's in the chat. Y'all know I definitely will read your comments. I just got to get out this initial commentary. Where is this picture, honey? Okay, so this is them. Okay, Courtney is an OnlyFans model. All right, now after she did what she did, she was arrested. Okay, she was arrested, and then she was released on bond. This heifer, okay, this heifer then took to her OnlyFans and posted content after she killed the man. After she stabbed the man to death, she posts content to her OnlyFans. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Then to protect her, and I bet you this is her family. Hey, good morning, CC and TV. Thank you for being here. Then after she posted the OnlyFans content, honey, apparently I'm guessing it's her family. They're using the Baker's Act. This is why you can't find this lady's name. I'm gonna tell you how her name got out. In Florida, there's a law. It's the Baker's Act, and you can use it. And I'm gonna describe what it is. I'm gonna read what it is, okay? To protect people who, allegedly have mental health issues, okay, as it relates to a crime. So she stabbed this man to death, posted shit to her OnlyFans, and now she's claiming the Baker's Act, which means the media cannot release her name to the public. Do you know how her name got out there? Because a family member or friend, one of the two, made a social media post saying, look, this is what's going down. Like, our loved one was murdered. There's no coverage. This woman she's being currently held on a 72-hour hold. So that means she's in a psychiatric facility. This murder occurred on Sunday. It's very unclear. Okay. I'm not sure when she went into the psych hold, but technically it should be over by now. So that's how they're protecting her. Can y'all see what's going on here? Okay. It doesn't matter what the layers are. It's very clear. First, I want to say I never hear no black people getting to claim no Baker's Act. Okay. Because when stuff goes down, what you end up hearing, even when we're the victims, it's like, oh yeah, they did this and they did that. And then like 5 news stories later, oh, by the way, this person was murdered. Why are you disparaging the victim? Why are you doing this? Why did we find out about this person's criminal history? Okay. And whenever they have mental health issues, you don't even hear about it. The media don't put that out there, but let it be a white person. Okay, they're gonna run quick, and I'm not convinced this lady got no damn mental health issues. Okay, but we'll see what comes out. Captivating TV said they're also trying to paint the young man as abusive to her. I heard that. I was so mad. I said, "Damn, they trying everything. They're trying everything." So I want y'all to see what's going on here. Okay, this woman killed this man. And I'm laughing because it's absurd. She killed this man. Okay. Posted content to her OnlyFans, and now she's on she was released on bond, and then now she's on a psychiatric hold. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Do you think if this was him or anybody else of color, that this shit would have went down? We would have heard about all his history. Okay, y'all know I like to talk about stealing chapsticks from Walmart. Okay, because it's a petty crime. We would have heard about the time he stole the chapstick from Walmart. Okay. You never hear about how good of a student people are, what they do for a living. They always dig up dirt on the victims and bet money. The only reason why we don't hear no dirt yet is probably because they don't got none on him. Okay. Other than what I had disclosed in the beginning, that he was going around here disrespecting black women. Okay. If you like white women, okay, more power to you. But why do you need to disrespect black women? Okay. So he was, it's just crazy. When I heard this, I was like, yo, this lady better be arrested for murder, because whether she has mental health issues or not, she still committed a crime. And it sounds like it was a brutal crime. He was stabbed repeatedly. Okay, he was said repeatedly. I'm going to read a couple statements here. Okay, so the plaintiff Jane, she's the one who broke down a lot of the stuff and talked about how this lady posted to OnlyFans. She had the footage. Okay, I'm gonna read a post from a friend that I found. Okay, so apparently it says it seems as though the story is being silenced. Remember, the news is barely covering this. I looked it up. I found about 3 or 4 articles. None of them mention Courtney's name because once again, the Bakers Act protects her from that. The Bakers Act. This woman is the perpetrator and she's getting protected. Okay, it just shows you just the fucked up world that we live in. It's just crazy to me. Excuse me. Okay, so it says Courtney Taylor killed her boyfriend Christian Obumseli. I believe this is a friend who posted this Sunday night in their Miami apartment. She's been using the Baker Act so the news can't release her name. It's not confirmed whether or not she killed him in his sleep or if he is awake, if he was awake during this altercation. What we do know is that she did stab him and took his life. Please don't support her in buying any of her content. We're going to unpack that too. As the story unfolds, we will share more. Just make sure the media doesn't make Christian out to be the bad guy. We're speaking on this because my boyfriend and I were the closest to them in friendship and are talking to their family. It seems as though they were in the dark about how toxic their relationship was and all the abuse that happened leading up to this. That is so sad. This is a friend. Hey, Just a Petty Mess. Thanks for being here. Okay, so that was a post from a friend. Then we're also going to read a post from a family member who posted to GoFundMe because they're raising money for his funeral. Okay. It says on April 3rd, 2022, 27-year-old Christian Toby Obumseli was murdered in Florida a week before his 28th birthday. It was unconscionable to make sense of our new reality that someone's selfish act ripped Christian away from this world. Is not enough to say we are shocked and hurting. We're utterly devastated. His murder leaves many unanswered questions and creates a void that can never be fixed or filled, not even with time. This is very heavy, guys. Very, very, very heavy. Okay. What I think is interesting is we don't have any details about how this altercation happened. Now, Captivating TV made a good point, and I'm going to say this. Now, in the Planet Chance video, she had disclosed that there was a neighbor. Hey, Tiffany, good morning. There was a neighbor who disclosed that apparently this couple has a history of domestic incidents. What's not clear is who was the aggressor. Apparently, the police had come there multiple times. I don't know if this is true, guys. This is alleged because, once again, I didn't find this in the articles, but I know that the Planet Jane and Paris Milan stay on the research. So if they have the information, they got it from somewhere. Apparently, a neighbor said that there were screams. Okay, just blood-curdling screams. So that tells me, well, how could he be sleeping? Because remember, I read the statement about somebody, they didn't know if he was sleeping or not. Okay, when this happened. They said they heard screams and that there had been repeated domestic violence issues with this couple. We don't know what happened. I'm sure it'll come out if there's police reports. If police were called to this residence, they're going to have all of that and we'll find out what the deal is. I have no idea. I'm not jumping to any conclusions. Okay. I'm not jumping to any conclusions. So what gets me is that this woman is using the Baker's Act, this mental health excuse after she just murdered somebody in cold blood. Okay. Very crazy. Very, very, very crazy. And I'm not going to say I can't believe the media is doing this. I can believe it because they do this all the time. They cover stuff. Now, there's so many things to unpack here. Okay. Just Me 3 said, bottom line, he is not FBA ADOS, so it's not our concern. It's not our business. Christian was a teacher. So Just Me 3.0, I can tell you new here, honey. I am a Black immigrant from Jamaica. I am a citizen, okay, of the United States, and I'm a permanent resident of Canada. Eat your heart out, honey. Moving right along. We don't do that hate here, okay? You could be proud FBA and ADOS, but you don't need to hate on other people. That we don't roll like that over here. So you could take that shit and go somewhere else with that. Bye. And I'm not going to block you, but if you come over here with the fuck shit, you're going to be blocked, okay? So you've been warned. Anyway, moving right along. Okay. That shit get on my nerves. This is not even the topic. Yes, he's Nigerian. Okay. Now I know how I am on this channel. I'm gonna talk about this from different angles. I already told y'all. Okay. This man was out here disrespecting Black women, not because he's with a white woman. Let me be clear. Not because he's with a white woman. He has a history of putting down Black women, their bodies, of their phenotype, all kinds of stuff. And he's repeatedly stated he's only interested in dating white women. Okay. Now, it's one thing if that's who he wants to date, but why do you need to put down Black women? Okay. And so this is the reason why I posted 2 different videos from 2 different perspectives. One perspective is it's not our fight, and then the other perspective is here is this Black man who is being who was murdered, and the police are not even doing their job, and the media is not doing their job. Now, I am definitely of the angle of, regardless of what he did and said, okay, this is a human being. Okay, and he was murdered. And I have compassion for what happened to him. I think that even though there's a racial element to this, I do think that people tend to racialize a lot of things and then they lose sight and they lose track of the different layers of things that's happening. Okay, and this is what I think here. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it serves him right. Well, he should. Paris Milan was bad. She said he should have chose better. Now, to be fair, Paris Milan, I'm pretty sure she identifies herself as a divestor, and she also encourages Black women to move in a certain direction. Once again, we're gonna unpack that later because I have different thoughts about that. But I thought it was hypocritical at first, and then I realized no, she wasn't criticizing him for dating a white woman. She was upset because of his history of social media and the way that he carries on. I will definitely be looking the story up. This is news I didn't hear about. I literally just I heard about it this morning. It was crazy, Tiffany. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. And we're going to unpack some more stuff. I'm just pulling this up here. I want to get into a couple things here. So some people are bringing this up from a divestment perspective. Some people are going right to, oh my gosh, this is a Black man who was murdered and there's no justice. Here's my thought. I believe people should be able to be with and date and marry and sleep with anybody who they want to sleep with. Okay. I don't get to dictate that. I don't tell people where they should put their genitals, who they should be with, who should be up in their bed. I personally don't believe that. Now, are you listening? Just me 3.0, because I have a feeling this is gonna make you mad too. I've said this multiple times on my channel. I am married to a white man. Okay, but I don't consider myself a divester. I just happen to marry a white man. I don't hate Black men. I don't think they're trash. Okay, I don't like the narrative of lumping all Black men into a category of they ain't shit, they trash. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't like that. That's just me. That's just me. I will never tell people what to do, but that's just me. I don't feel comfortable with that narrative. So even though I listen to some of these women, because sometimes they're making very valid points about our community, I don't subscribe to the narrative of, oh my gosh, all Black men are trash, get away from them as fast as you can. And then I've even heard people like Cynthia G saying horrific things like boarding Black males. That's like so cringy and so unacceptable. I don't believe in that shit. And I got a whole white husband. Okay. I don't hate myself. I love my Blackness. I love who I am. I love my Black people. Okay, just because I didn't marry a Black man don't mean I hate them. That's just me. I'm just keeping it 200% real. Okay, I don't believe in that. And so if you just happen to have a partner of a different race, I don't think that means you're single-handedly trying to destroy your race. Like, there's a lot of ignorance on here, and it really bothers me. Even in the spiritual community, the spiritual Black community, I follow quite a few people, but sometimes they get on my nerves because they be saying mad racist shit, and I'll be like, yo, this is ridiculous. You can't tell people what to do. It's the same thing. I think it goes along the same lines of homophobia. Why are you worried about who people are sleeping with, where they put their genitals, and who they're loving? As long as people are treating you right, that's it. Number 2, are you self-hating? Because some people do get into interracial relationships because they don't like themselves. That's some issues that they need to work out. We also have people around here that get into relationships because they think they're better than people. I will never forget, and I'm not going to say her name because we're not going to give this bitch no shine, okay? Because I know she lurking, okay? This other dumb bitch who's also married to a white man got on YouTube and said, precious white man, she don't got the type of white man like I got. That is some coon ass shit. I am not in your Olympics. I don't even know what you're talking about, okay? Because it's dumb. Like, you're stupid. I'm not going to go back and forth with you about what type of white man. That just reveals how you feel about yourself, sis. Okay? Because I am my own person and I am still very much 100% black. So you can get out of here with that fuck shit. All right, she sounded so dumb. But this is somebody who also advertises her vagina as her worth. So I'm not surprised. Okay? Anyway, let me stop my shade. So, but I don't tell people who to be with. It's none of my business, okay? And I think that's your business if you want to date outside of your race. And just like there are people who are like, nah, I only want to be with a black person. I only want to be with a Hispanic person because that's the race they're from. I respect those people too, because you can do that and not be a hater. I have friends who that's how they feel, but they don't be hating on other people. They're just like, no, that's not for me. You know, I want to be with somebody from my race for XYZ reasons. There's ways to do that without being a hating ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I sprinkle this every now and then, because it chases the people away who they come over here, just like that person that was on that the rah-rah, not even knowing who I am. Okay, I was born in St. Anne's Bay, Jamaica in 1983, bro. Okay, so stop it. Tiffany said, I'm not a divester. Don't even get me started on that messy fringe movement, but I'm never here for the misogynoir media assist. So his fate, considering his history of bashing women, raises the eyebrow. And I am with sis 200% on this. When I heard, this is what I'm saying. First, I was like, damn, Paris is going hard on the divester commentary. This man just died. And then when she broke down the receipts of what he did, I was like, yo, damn, this is bad. It definitely made me side eye him. I really encourage y'all to watch Paris's video. Stick it through to the end, because you're going to, she literally has receipts of stuff he said, like crazy stuff, guys. Crazy stuff about black women, just out of pocket. Okay. And again, she's trying to warn people because people are running with the, oh my gosh, the black man narrative. And she's trying to show people, look, you got to look into this, look into the bigger picture. He was with this toxic ass woman, okay, who happened to be white. And that's another layer to it. This is a toxic relationship. I think that is the first thing. Instead of rushing to the divestment conversation, why don't we talk about people in unhealthy relationships? You could be in an unhealthy relationship no matter what your race, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation is. And it's bad and it's trash. That's what we need to talk about. What are the signs? Why do people stay in it? Okay. Tiffany said, I know who that statement was asinine as fuck. Absolutely. Thank you, Tiffany. I'm still mad. And let me tell you something. Okay, I was telling my good sis, oh no, the other day. I was like, oh no, I'm not even a violent person. But that's somebody that I definitely want to punch dead in the face. Okay, because I'm just like, you're not even, I don't even talk to you. I don't even deal with you. Why are you worried about my husband? That's crazy. I don't care about your husband, girl. It's just dumb and coonish. That's some coon shit. That's some coon shit. Anyway, so this dude, some people are saying, well, he got what was coming to him. Okay, he should have chose better. Okay, because this woman is this XYZ. And to me, you know, in light of the post that he made to social media prior to his death, damn. This is why I just did my little disclaimer, and I talked about, you need to know the reasons why you're doing certain things. Some people really do have self-hate. Some people really do have self-hate, and it's really sad. And like, people really need to examine themselves for that. And this is why I said those extreme narratives of, oh yeah, don't be with no black man and they're all trash. Like, okay, my father was trash, but I know that there are great black men out there. There are wonderful black fathers, black brothers. I have wonderful cousins that are black, and I love them, and they're great men. So why the hell? It just feels hypocritical to me. It makes me wonder about this man's family too. Like, when they heard him going off on these rants about black women, where, like, your family's Nigerian. Like, were they calling him out on this stuff when he was co-signing racist, like, social media posts and things? It just makes me wonder, like, who are the people in your life? And who is this? We're going to keep saying her name. This Courtney Taylor woman, Do y'all see this shit? How she's protected? Like I said, her name is only out there because a friend of the family put her shit on blast. It was like, look, this woman is straight out of OnlyFans. Okay, this is who she is. Don't support her content. And I know it's gonna be some racist ass motherfuckers lurking in the bushes, not here, but just elsewhere on the internet. Let's flood her OnlyFans. So it's going, when you put something out there to people, you have to understand that it could do both things. It could create awareness, stay far away from this lady, don't support her. And then it can also ignite the people who are haters. That's like, no, I don't even like OnlyFans. But I'm going to support this woman because I'm racist and I'm a neo-Nazi. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole bunch of white men that I'm sure are angry that this woman was with this man, and they're gonna be like, yeah, good job. Okay, it's very. Y'all know I'm not lying. Tiffany said it sucks what happened to him, but it definitely makes me go, well, exactly. That's definitely this is definitely a well. That's how I felt when I watched Paris's video. I was like, damn, I got egg on my face. I was getting ready to be like, Paris, really? This is really the narrative? And she broke that shit down. You know what? I don't know. No, I don't think he's a professional athlete. What does he do? I don't remember what he does. But that wouldn't surprise me because a lot of them, that's how they be behaving. Child, when I tell you I cannot believe this shit. Now, I would love to hear your thoughts about this because, excuse me, my thing is, how did this unfold? Why is there so much speculation as to whether he was killed in his sleep or not? I think if he was killed in his sleep, there's a whole nother layer. Okay, that means they weren't fighting. She just went up there and killed him. And the Planet Shane made a really good point in her video. She said this is giving her Jodi Arias vibes. Okay, I always like mix up her name if it's Arias or Arias, but she said, which I didn't know some of these details. She said when Jodi killed her boyfriend, like I said, I'm not censoring nothing because Google don't like me because I talk about real shit. So we're gonna say the words. Jodi Arias slashed her boyfriend's throat. Okay, then she proceeded to stab him several times and danced around the body. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that because I didn't follow her case. There's some of these cases, I'm not going to be like, I'd be hella triggered. I'm still triggered by what's her name? Damn, what is her name? I'm going to tell you why I'm triggered. The media they irk my soul. What was that girl who killed, she killed her roommates. Like they were in Italy, I think. And the media took that lady and they just painted her like her shit didn't stink. Oh, she's America's sweetheart. She's an American beauty. We just can't believe that this happened. Just crazy shit. Like, I'm so triggered when they do that. I cannot remember her name. That shit pissed me off though. And so whenever I see certain stories like that, when they try to like deify some of these white women when they do heinous crimes, okay, I can't handle it. I just check out. And so I didn't follow much of Jodi's case. And this other girl, I cannot remember her name. She killed her roommates. Jodi Arias. Yeah, listen, I did not know she did all that. I knew she killed her boyfriend, but I didn't know she did all that. And I was like, damn. But that shit be driving me crazy. Just like, even though this is a different topic, the way that I told you about that Ukrainian reporter was being interviewed by Amanda Knox. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. I knew she would come through. I knew Tiffany would come through. Amanda fucking Knox. I cannot stand the way the media covered that shit. Okay? If they could drink her bathwater, they would. And this woman was an alleged murderer. Like, the way they treat white criminals or white perpetrators or even white suspects versus to the way I'm not even talking about black criminals or victims. I'm talking about black victims. Do you see the two different ends? They don't even give the victims that level of respect. Okay? Whenever it's a white woman that's out here or a white man committing crimes, they're going to talk about, oh my gosh, Sally, he was he was just a great student. And, he really contributed to his community. That's all the shit that you hear. You hear that shit. I will never forget the man who, the names are escaping me. I think he blew up some buildings. I forget in what state. And they put this man's Asian girlfriend on CNN with her picture blasted when they was looking for him. before they put the perpetrator's picture and name. And this is what it's given me, how white people get protected in the media, even when they are the alleged perpetrator. This should make you mad. It should make you mad. Why is this woman being protected? Mental health or not. Y'all know I'm a whole mental health clinician. Mental health or not, because they don't give the same. It's not the same for people of color. How many stories do you hear of people who probably do suffer from significant mental health issues? All you hear is the gore and the guts of the story. They don't ever shed any light on, well, you know what, Miss Santiago might have struggled with schizophrenia. She might have been in a manic state. She stopped taking her medication. You never do you never hear that shit in the media when it relates to black and brown people. I don't care what nobody say. They never do that shit. They never do that. They fight that stuff. And it just makes me so angry that it's abuse. Like that people avoid and evade justice and responsibility because of the color of their skin. And on top of that, the justice system is already biased, throwing people in jail that's black and brown that don't even commit crimes. It's not even accurate. It's obnoxious. Tiffany said, Justin Pennyman said, almost caught up. Okay, love. Tiffany said, Amanda was into some shady ish. The Italian police botched that case horribly. They sure did. And I never like got deep enough into it to be like, yo, did she do it or not? Like, because they tried to shed so much doubt on the case. Same thing with, and I want to be clear, when it comes to compassion, I have compassion for human beings. It doesn't matter what your color is. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is, okay? But when it comes to certain things, I do get triggered, okay? I was very sad for that woman who was missing a few months ago, and it ended up that her boyfriend killed her. Very sad, but I was also very triggered as a black woman because I felt like black and brown women don't get that coverage when we go missing. We don't get 4 weeks of coverage on major news outlet. You don't even hear about it. We're not even on the back of the fucking milk carts. Okay? I used to just think, oh, well, we just don't be missing. We just don't go missing like that. And then I realized that no, they just don't cover it. They don't care. They don't care. It's horrible. Tiffany said often mental health becomes the scapegoat and excuse for them folks too. Exactly. It's ableist as fuck. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to say something else, and it's going to make people mad. I also believe that certain features, the more like, it's not even just white women. There's certain features of a white woman that they definitely put them on a pedestal. The fact that this woman is a blonde white woman, okay, all bets are off. Them police gonna bend over backwards. Oh, they're gonna make excuses. They're gonna spin it. They love sympathizing with people who look like her. Okay? The fact that, how the fuck was this woman released on bond? And then was able to post to her damn OnlyFans. How do you have time to post your poom poom, ma'am, after you just killed somebody? That should be in. I really hope they put that shit in the courts. Because that's cold-blooded as fuck. Okay, you sitting up there posting poom poom pics after you just stabbed a man to death. Make it make sense. That shows me you don't have no remorse. Okay, because when you stab somebody, and she must have stabbed him mad times. There's mad blood. It's carnage. It's not like not that if you kill anybody, you should move on to your next activities. That's already cold as fuck. But like you did this, and then you just went about your day. I don't understand. I don't understand how this woman is walking around. I don't understand where is the mental health assistance? Where's the Baker's Act? And this is only in Florida, by the way. When the people who need it don't get it. Like, where is it? I don't understand. And I'm gonna do research into the Baker's Act to see what other headlines are there of people who claim this, or what are the statistics. Justin Pettyman said, okay, it's an oh well for me. Remember when Chad Wheeler went off on Homegirl? You got to fill me in, sis. You got to fill me in. This is what I'm saying. I was judging Paris hard, and then I listened to her whole video, and I was like, yo, you done fucked up, bro. Okay, because you was out here hating. If you was just in a relationship and you just happened to be with this white woman, it would have been sad to me. But you literally was out here hating and doing the most. Jesse Pettyman said, in the U.S. where the system is biased, why expect justice? You know, it's crazy. It's so crazy because, guys, not that there's not injustice and racism in Canada, because there's a lot of it. Okay. But I see it a lot more towards indigenous populations. Now, it took for me moving away from the States. I already knew it was racist as fuck, and it was like just mad shit. But I was like, yo, when I see certain things that the Canadian government does for its people, and America, like the way I was raised, like when I was growing up, because both of my parents, they immigrated separately. Like my dad came first and he worked and he was like a manager at a restaurant. And then he filed for us. And then my mom would occasionally work and come back and forth to the States. And it's so sad because when you're in your country, okay, you don't know, like there's this, they put it out there. This is like the land of milk and honey and all this stuff, right? And then as you go there and then you learn about the way things are, the way people are treated, you don't realize what you have. I didn't realize, damn, I'm in a country with leaders that look like me. Like I'm in a country with people that predominantly look like me. I don't have to worry about oh my gosh, there's no black magazines. Like everybody literally looks for me. Like all the stuff is like made for my people, the food, the hair products. Like it's really crazy to me when I really broke it down. And then going like, so that was my first time immigrating and then moving to Canada. It was like, yo, America is supposed to be one of the richest countries in the world. And look at how they treat their people, like just as a whole. But then look at how people of color are still, if they're lucky, second-class citizens. Like it is undeniable. I mean, I already knew that shit when I lived there. But moving away, I saw it even more. I saw the layers and I'm like, this is just so, it's just so, like when you really, really like break it down, it's so disheartening. It's so upsetting that the people in power are there. It's almost like to maintain that like level of whatever they've created. They're put there to keep and maintain that norm. You know what I'm saying? And then they just sprinkle stuff out there to distract us whenever we start to, you notice, y'all remember, was this 2020 with the George Floyd? Was that 2020 with George Floyd? When like all these people, these so-called white people were waking up? And I'm like, where the fuck have you been? Why didn't you know that there was racism? Why didn't you know that this is what people of color go through? Why is this new to you? I didn't understand it. I didn't understand. Like I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't motherfucking impressed. Okay, because that's not the type of white friends I keep. I was not impressed by white people. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put a black screen on Instagram to support. You know, where the fuck have you been that you didn't know that this shit was happening? It took for you to see a video online of a man getting the wind snuffed out of him for you to see, oh my gosh, this is horrible. We got to do something. We got to post a black screen to social media. I was not impressed. I was not impressed. And I'm going to say that right now. And where the fuck are those people now? Are y'all still doing the work? Are you still being allies? Okay. And I know I just went all way off topic, but that shit really pisses me off. It's a lot of stuff in my heart that I'm like, yo, this is trash. This system needs to burn to the ground because it's not making no sense. Anyway, let me read these comments. Okay. Tiffany said, nope, sure don't. Like with the young black woman in the state found after a date. Yes, that is what exactly, Tiffany. Excuse me. I think Paris alluded to that story, and she was talking about if you know, I might be wrong, so I don't want to overstep. But Paris was saying recently a black woman was killed who was in an interracial relationship. And I don't know, I don't think she was killed by her partner, but it was a whole bunch of black men who took to Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, to social media. I was like, oh yeah, you know, that's what she get, when swirling goes wrong. And it didn't even have nothing to do with that. So, and they were talking about something you should have chose better. This is why Paris made that comment at the end of her video about Mr. Christian. You should have chose better. Moving right along. Just a Petty Mess said, I'm still getting it all out, so excuse my comments being late. Oh, you're fine, Just a Petty Mess. I tell you, this was premeditated. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because you know how I know this shit must have been premeditated? Either he was sleeping or it's premeditated. Because how do you stab a grown-ass man to death? Right? Like, if you see the full body, like the full body picture of her, She's not like a big person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this dude could have overpowered her easily. So I think that something must have went down. Either he was drunk or he was sleeping. Child, maybe she drugged him. I don't know. But I want to hear the details because it's not making sense. Captivating Christian said, even the black man who assaulted the old Asian woman, his mental health was never a question. I'm going to read that one more time because I want this to sink in for y'all. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. I want you to hear what Captivating Christian is saying because he's making hella sense right now. Even the black man who assaulted the old Asian woman, his mental health was never a question, even though the crime was wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? This is a clear example of what I'm talking about. Mental health never gets applied, okay, to us because whenever there's any type of crimes like that, it's not. It's not. It's very crazy because they're invested in the narrative that we're demons. Okay. Excuse me. Tiffany said, them folks were on Twitter defending the F out of Chad Wheeler. Child, I'm going to have to look it up. Let me write this down because I don't even know the story. They can't wait. Just like the people that's mad at Kentaji because she got a white husband. Child. The only people that I be mad at is what's her face? Oh, she wins the Coon Awards. I just did Candace. Okay, but Candace it don't matter if she had a white husband or not. Candace is just she's a coon all by herself. She literally hates her people and says like the most vile things and like puts a lot of narratives out there. So that type of person with a white man, I would definitely give the side eye because I'm like, well, damn sis, you don't even like your people. Okay, that's different. That's completely different to me because she's Uncle Ruckus in female form. Like, it makes no sense. Having a physical representation is important. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it messes with you when you don't see people who look like you, who are leading, who are in certain places, it definitely affects you. And I didn't realize that shit till I was adult. Like, yo, all my teachers, you know what I'm saying, was black when I was growing up in Jamaica. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Indigenous folks in Canada get a raw D. Tiffany, baby, I've already had compassion, but I learned so much since moving here and seeing the layers of racism and the stuff that indigenous people go through. And I'm gonna say this, okay? And it might offend some people, but I don't care. This is why I get so mad when I see, because I follow a few spiritual black content creators, and I get so mad when they're not the indigenous, we're the real indigenous. I'm like, if you believe there are indigenous black people native to the US, why can't you do that? But why do you have to disrespect the native people? Like, it's so crazy. I get so mad and I'm like, yeah, like this is too much. Y'all need to understand what these people went through. Okay, because we cousins. All right. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Just a petty mess. They told us racism wasn't real and it was in our heads. You know what else I heard that really pisses me off? Hey, Black Swan. Child, I don't know if this is real, so disclaimer. I read an article. No, what's the headline? Excuse me. So that's why it's not an article. I read somewhere that what state was it? One of them wacky ass states. They were trying to ban schools talking about racism in a way that hurts white people's feelings, child. I don't know if that shit is true, but post in the comments. But like, I'm so tired. I'm just gonna move on. Because I'm just gonna get mad. Tiffany said they know they just couldn't ignore it anymore with girlfriend because it was right in their lying faces. Exactly. Sorry, I just need to. Black Swan said, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Black Swan. Thanks for being here. Tiffany said, you can't gaslight communities of color when the issue's right in your face. Thank you. And this is what I'm saying. I don't even know why they try. Hey, Lady Tia, I don't even know why they try. I don't know why they do that. And I want to say something else. I'm going to say something else because we talk about a lot of different things. I don't remember who that person was that was trying to spit their hate and shit and dismiss other Black people because they thought it was more important to be FBA or ADOS, but they don't, they were trying to shit on Black people from other places. I am definitely one of those people who I support Black Americans, aka ADOS people, getting reparations from America. And I don't think that as somebody who, excuse me, like I've only been in the country since 1993. I think that if I want reparations as a Jamaican person, I need to get that shit straight from the British Crown. Okay. That's what I believe. So this is why I get upset with people who I respect the ADOS and the FBA conversation when it's taking action and it's not just trying to incite hate and xenophobia towards other Black people. Like there's a lot of good things that are being done through the ADOS movement that I support, but them hating ass people that be spreading division and just be with the rah rah shit, y'all not doing shit but beating your gums and keyboard gangstering. There's actual people who are doing ADOS shit who are helping to progress the conversation and action towards reparations for Black Americans, which I fully support. I'm not going to dip into that money. That's not my money. That's not my money. The reparations that I should be getting should be from England. Okay, so I just want to be clear because, it's just this narrative by some people that like, oh yeah, oh, they just want to take all our shit. Hey, Kayleen, they just want to take all our shit and they just come. Are there Black immigrants who come here and disrespect Black Americans? Absolutely. I would be a liar if I said that wasn't true. But to rest your whole argument on that narrative is unproductive, okay? And it's not helpful, okay? Because there are actually some of us who are rooting for all Black people. I'm rooting for you, ADOS people. I'm rooting for you, FBA. I want you to get your reparations, just like I want reparations, but I'm not going to tap into your shit because I'm not originally, my ancestors are not from the US. So that's not who my beef is with to get my reparations. So no, I wouldn't be trying to be like, yo, they need to cut me my check. I can understand why that would upset people. And I just want to say that. And I just see so many people fighting in the Black diaspora about bullshit. What are you doing? I only respect the people that's about that action. I only respect the people. This is the reason why, and I'm going to say her name. I didn't say it before, but I'm going to say it. This is the reason why I'm done with 7 Stars. Because 7 Stars sat up there and started this whole argument about FBA ADOS people. But girl, you're not doing shit. You're just spreading hate. Are you voting? Are you doing the things that need to be done to progress reparations, to help Black Americans? No, you're sitting up there channeling that energy to hate on West Indians. Fuck you. I don't got time for that shit. And I actually love all Black people. I do. So I'm not interested in creating a narrative of division and destruction. Move towards action that's going to help people instead of channeling that into hate. It's the same thing with Seren. Seren puts a lot of energy into hating other Black people. I don't understand that shit. I don't get it. I don't understand how that's going to help people win. If there are Black immigrants or there's other Black people from other countries disrespecting or hating on Black Americans, that's wrong. And thinking that they're better than people, that shit is wrong. I'm never going to co-sign that. But to put people I just hear a lot of hate from people like Tariq Nasheed and just certain people. And I'm so glad that I've found educated, respectful, on point people who are Black Americans that are FBA, who are actually doing real shit to create change instead of just be like, yo, let's hate the Africans. Let's hate the West Indians. Let's hate the Black Germans. Get the fuck out of here. You're an agent of white supremacy and you don't realize it. My rant is over. Let me keep going. Moving right along. And I don't give a fuck about how she want to respond. I don't take people seriously. That's just spreading hate. You need to be about that action. Okay? I said it. Keeping it moving anyway. Thanks, Tiffany. Black Swan said, I'm Antiguan Canadian. I stand here bushes and drop down to say I enjoy how truthful you are. Thank you so much, Black Swan. People forget how Canada deported Black Canadians back to Jamaica. Listen, I'm getting taught here. I'm getting taught. Okay. I tell you, I'll be taking notes. I love the cookers because I'll be taking notes because I'll be learning from y'all. Okay. Deported Black Canadians back to Jamaica on their first offense. Facts. My husband's uncle told me about this shit. He was a chaplain in a prison. Okay. And he told me about this shit. It's facts. Tiffany said, Lord, the Kintaji outrage about her husband is ridiculous for a multitude of reasons I should outline, but also hilarious. And it's also a distraction. And it's like the Black people who do this shit, I'm like, yo, you don't realize, like, you can't even be happy for this progress because you're so focused on who this woman is with. Now, if you dig up some dirt about her husband that says that he was supporting bills that like harmed black people or people of color, then I'll listen to what you have to say. But you just hate him for the sole fact that he's white, that she's married to a white husband. Girl, bye. I cannot. Lady Tia, I'm late. Did you see the guy point of view on a black woman? Lady Tia, they schooling me in the chat. They was telling me about that. Florida. Thank you, Kayleen. Hey, love, thank you for being here. Black is black. We all better band together or continue to be left behind. I'm going to read that one more time, okay, for the slow people that would rather be xenophobic and hateful, that would rather be an agent of white supremacy and lead other black people to hate other black people than take action and do what they need to do. Black is black. We all better band together or continue to be left behind. Point blank, motherfucking period. Okay, that's where I am. That's where I reside all day. I don't understand this shit. Sitting up there talking about some West Indians is evil. The fuck? Black Swan said, I'm in my 40s. I know for a fact that the South doesn't teach slave history. They sure don't. But it's not just them. They still spin the narrative that slaves are indentured servants. Lord of mercy. Or these blacks were saved by the whites. Exactly. And let me tell you how fucked up it is. Pardon my language, guys, because I'll be getting worked up and then I'll be cursing. Let me stop because I know some people don't like that. The thing is that they're trying so hard to cover up this information, and it's already diluted. It's already watered down. It's already light. So you mean to tell me you're trying to bleach this down even further? Your egos are so fragile, and y'all don't want the truth to come out. You stay changing and talking about indentured servants. Like, black people built that damn country from the ground up. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? When I found out about the White House, child, and who built I'm like, it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy. And then could you listen to how sick it is? Okay? Black people did all this shit to build up that country, don't even benefit from it financially or in any type of way, and then are still painted and demonized as lazy, as servants, as less than. I need y'all to make it make sense. It's crazy. Lady Tia said it's a shame she took his life. Excuse me, but I'm sitting this one out. He couldn't stand black women. So who cares who he dated, but will not stand for someone who put his down his face. And I totally respect you, Lady Tia. I totally respect you. This is why I said when Paris broke it down, I didn't judge her. I was like, sis, I'm mad at you. I can understand why somebody would not want to invest their energy into grieving this person based on what happened. Okay, like I said, it's a horrible way for him to die. It's messed up, but that's crazy. That's so crazy. When I heard those details, I was like, yo. That's why I posted both videos on my community wall. I wanted y'all to see there's different perspectives. A lot of those FBA and others are making money off black people. Yes, they are. It's the new scam now, and that's what I'm saying. There are definitely people who are making real change. They're actually enacting policies. They're actually going to government and like putting their foot on people's necks. But then you got the other keyboard gangbangers that's just spreading hate. And I don't respect those people. I don't. Not when you're in the beef sector calling people nigga bitches, but then turn around talking about, I'm FBA. Girl, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? Because you don't really want me to tell you the truth about how your wonderful Kwani, who is an FBA queen, out here talking about some of your family members in horrible ways and bringing up your trauma history. But you don't say she's evil. The people that's listening to her, who you, I'm sure, was one of the people listening to her, right? Before you got offended. Okay? How comes you didn't say the people following her are evil? Why? Because she's not West Indian? Make it make sense. Black Swan, thank you. They think that all of the black immigrants are trying to steal money. And it's like, no, I'm happy for you. I want you to get your shit. I want you to get your shit from your country. And I'm not going to dip into that. On God, I'm not. And it's just, and any black immigrant who doesn't feel the same is because they don't know their history. They don't understand, no, this is not for you. If you want reparations, we got to go about it in a different way. Tiffany said, oh, please, I'm ADOS/FBA. And a lot of devout ADOS advocates don't even support other black Americans. That's facts. And their support is conditional. Facts. Especially if they aren't cis, hetero, or male. Triple Fendi facts. Absolutely. Absolutely. But y'all not ready. because some people just want to be a part of the cool gang and they don't really know what time it is. Again, you're working to be agents of white supremacy if you're not actually doing real change and you're just spreading hate about other people. It doesn't make any sense. The most of the so-called ADOS slash FBA leaders are grifting and using the cause to squeeze money out of black folks. I actually just like, I read about this. I don't remember where I read about that. And I was so shocked. And I was like, damn. And I'm like, why am I surprised? It's people in the black spiritual community that be scamming people. And they're supposed to be helping you elevate and raise your vibration. But they out here scamming. It's scammers everywhere. Wake up. Cisgendered heterosexual. Black Swan said ADOS need to push for free college. Facts. And I actually have come across some ADOS who do push for that. I have seen that. Education is the way up. When you can feed yourself, you don't need to depend on anyone. This is what I'm talking about, these conversations. Thank you, Tiffany. This is what I'm talking about. But they're not ready for this conversation because they're too invested in hate. I'm talking about the hating ass people who just want to keyboard gangbang and talk shit. But they're not about that real change in action. Stop it. Tiffany said, yep, white fragility continues to be a scourge. They would rather lie to their children and erase black folks from American history to protect their ugly egos. This is so true. And I'm going to tell you, if they do that shit, well, I'm in Canada now, I would pull my children from the education system. Because to me, they're already getting a watered down version of shit. They're already getting a watered down version. So to me, I just want to show you how evil that is. And this is what I'm saying. And I hope this doesn't sound messed up, but black people need to know what their power is. Y'all need to really tap into your power, okay? That melanated magic, because I'm telling you, some of these people, we're specifically talking to the racist ass people right now, okay? That's who I'm talking to. I'm not talking about all white people. The racist ass people, okay? The powers that be trying to subjugate and fuck people up. Y'all, black people need to know what their power is, because I'm telling you, they got to be so afraid of us if you even got to suppress the history to that level. You're already suppressing the information. Okay. I never forget when I started reading, is it Howard Zinn's account, History of America? I said, what in the fool hell were we learning in school? Okay. They don't got that book in the curriculum. They don't got Howard Zinn's book. I'm sure it's banned. Okay. It's crazy. Black Swan said, Kentucky threw out a class action lawsuit against NASA. Ooh! Sorry, 1 second. When the blacks filed a civil suit, she denied blacks justice in favor of the white dollar. Ooh, I'm going to have to look that up, Black Swan. Thank you for sharing that. Ooh, child. Kayleen said, why not just say biological men and women? Kayleen, that's a whole nother topic, sis. It's a whole nother topic. Tiffany said, random aside, on another day, would love to hear your thoughts on how Caribbean is rising up and telling the royals. Oh, I wanted to talk about this, but I had forgotten to get the fuck on with that BS colonizer. And I love it. Tiffany, thank you for saying this. I need to write this down because I would love to come on here and talk about it. I was so proud. Child, because they got the rug. William and Kate got the rug pulled from under there. Okay, under them, they came around there. Okay, and they thought they was going to be worship. And Jamaica was like, nah, we're not fitting to go, bro. Get to stepping. This shit was funny. Move from yasso. This shit was funny. We're definitely unpacking that because I got my whole life. And I said, oh, I'm so glad people waking up. Black Swan said, Black Lives Matter, the Black Church, Nation of Islam are not for the people. They are for their own pockets. I heard Black Lives Matter be scamming the hell out of folks. Matter of fact, I came across, this was on Lipstick Alley, so I didn't cross-reference it. I heard one of the damn leaders of Black Lives Matter, I think he got $6 million in donations, and it went into a property for him. And then he had the nerve to talk about something. And what? Child, I was shook. They're people's pocket and seeing and hearing themselves speak. Wake up, people. This is what I'm saying. The keyboard gangstering. 1 second again. Hold on, y'all. The keyboard gangstering, the beating of the gums, okay, online, it's not getting you nowhere. Okay, wake up. And there's scammers everywhere. Listen, I come from the Black church. Okay, and the scammers there. I've told y'all stories. I don't remember what video it is, but I told y'all about when I started to wake up. Excuse me, and I went to a church event years ago, and Juanita Bynum, I'll never forget. It was three people that did some scamming ass shit. One of them was Juanita Bynum, and one of them was Zachary Timms. Okay, they came around there to the convocation or whatever it's called, and Zachary Timms. Okay, I'm pretty sure he passed away. He came around there talking about some if you sow a seed of $68.19, the Lord is gonna bless you. I don't got time to break down the scammation of just using specific numbers to manipulate people and to manipulate people who may be in need or who may be desperate. Okay. So Juanita Bynum came around there, excuse me, with her $125 prayer mats that she said she prayed over in whatever country. Okay. People need to wake up. You need to ask questions. Why can't I do this for myself? Okay. Why can't I why do I need to pay $125 for this? Okay. I want y'all to pay attention. If people could be scamming in church, then you know damn well they could be scamming elsewhere. Keep your eyes open, ask questions, do your research. Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim of scam likelies. Kentucky only freed and benefited black directly from bloodline nepotism. Ooh, listen, y'all not playing. Tiffany said the Black Lives Matter are black women. Excuse me. She called the house a safe house. Her family lives there, I believe. Oh, okay. Um oh yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's so that's how she got away with it, Tiffany. That is crazy. Black Swan B1 said people are just justifying the loss over $1 billion from Black Lives Matter. BLM couldn't have lobbied that. Well, also too, y'all know, I remember with the George Floyd stuff, I know that there were fake people pretending to be Black Lives Matter and tearing up shit. And there was a lot of people that they weren't really Black Lives Matter. They were just trying to create destruction so it could be pinned on. So it's so many layers. So many layers. Alicia Garza, Patrice Colors, and Opal Tomenti. Wait, I'm gonna screenshot this. Focus. Okay. So I know we went into a lot of layers, guys. Excuse me. We went into a lot of layers. Okay. I really encourage you to watch both of those videos so you can get a wide perspective of what this is. Watch Paris Milan's video and watch the Plain Jane, because they both cover information that the other person might not cover, and they both cover it from different angles, but they both made excellent points. She has a channel, Kaylee, and she's on point. Please check her out. She does commentary. So please watch those videos so you can like, it could stretch your perspective about it. They def raked in the dough. A lot of spin-off Black Lives Matter chapters also did their share of scamming, really messed up integrity of cause. And it's just so sad. Like, it just makes me so sad when people do things like this, and it kind of shrouds like what is, where the energy should be focused on. It just makes me so upset. Black Swan said that's why black people don't trust each other. Facts. And other because our own organizations be scamming and lying to us. It's very, very sad. It's very sad. And I'm gonna have to look up the ADO scams. I'm gonna have to look up the scams, because I didn't even know until the recent, like I said, I came across the headline and I was like, oh damn. I was like, that's crazy. But once again, take my own advice. It's scammers everywhere. So I'm trying to think. I'm just gonna breeze through my notes to see, was there anything else about this case, this topic, that I missed? Because child, I just couldn't believe it. I'm going over to her channel. Yeah, she's on point, Kayleen. She's on point. And you know what's crazy? This is how I know Google ain't shit, because the quality content that Tiffany puts out, she should have way more people and way more views. But I'm telling you, they don't like when we talk about real stuff. I've noticed that. They don't listen. They will push. I can get out here right now and make a beef sector video, even though I don't do those videos no more. And that shit will spread like wildfire. It's not just people clicking on the video. It's not just subscribers like, oh, let me find out the mess. You can see how Google pushes that shit. You can, because then you'll be like, oh, hold up. And then let it be about something real. Child, they don't like it. They don't like it. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. I'm just looking for my notes here. My bad, guys. But I've been peep Google. I just like, I'm gonna get on here and talk about what I want to talk about when I want to talk about it. And if they monetize the video, great. If not, who gives a fuck? Excuse me. And this is why I'm happy. I'm like, I don't do this for a living because I don't know how. This is why these people have to come on here and show their ass and sell their souls, okay, for a YouTube check. I read the post from the friend. I read the GoFundMe thing. I talked about divestors, like how I feel about that topic and how I feel like, people should just love who they want to love. Like, you don't need to hate on. You're welcome. You don't need to hate on. You don't need to hate on other people. You know what I'm saying? Do you? If you only want to date within your race, more power to you. But you don't got to hate on other people that date outside their race. And not everybody who dates outside their race is because, they hate themselves or they think that this person is better because they're not black. That shit is crazy. I cringe anytime I hear people say like, "Oh yeah, I think one of my cousins said this shit. Like, "Oh yeah, your kids are gonna have beautiful hair." I'm like, I already have beautiful hair. I'm not with this man because I want my kids' hair to be a certain way. I just happen to be with him because that's who I fell in love with. It's just dumb. We got to stop that bullshit. It's crazy. It is so crazy. But anyway, I'm not for the self-hate. I'm not for the Uncle Ruckuses and Auntie Rokishas. We don't do that shit over here. Okay. But I'm also for love who you love. Okay. Whoever that may be, as long as it's healthy and it's not toxic. If you're in a toxic ass relationship, you gotta, like, if you don't know what the signs are, Google it. You can Google anything. Ask your friend. Go see a therapist. Whatever it is, you don't have to stay in toxic relationships. Life is too short for that. And ultimately, at the end of the day, this is what the situation was, in my opinion. It was a toxic relationship when you could get stabbed, okay, by your partner like that. And then they just went out and then they just posted poom poom pics. And then now they claim mental health toxic. The shit is toxic. So look for the signs. Stop worrying about who's dating who, the pigment of their skin, if they melanated or not, if they're gay, if they're hetero. You need to be paying attention to the signs of toxic ass relationships. That's the shit that's finna get you killed. Because the truth is, it doesn't matter if your partner is white, purple, black, pink. Anybody could kill anybody. This is why it's dumb when people post dumb shit. Oh yeah, she was with that white man and he killed her dead, honey. Oh, he was with that white woman and she murdered the fuck out of him. It can happen to anybody because it really, the layers aren't really about their skin. The layers is about who is it that you're with. Did you marry a whole psychopath out here? A whole sociopath? Okay. Did you marry a malignant narcissist? Did you marry somebody that's not taking care of themselves or their mental health issues? They're not doing their shadow work. Okay. They're not dealing with their childhood trauma. There's so many layers, guys, to why people do stupid shit. That's what you need to pay attention to. Okay. And I'm going to share one more story before I go because it reminds me a little bit of this to some degree. Let me read these comments real quick. Google keeps everything we say and do. I think that they're the ones that set up the celebrities. Oh, absolutely. 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 Exactly. Tiffany J said dumpster juice and toxicity spans a wide spectrum. Folks better wake up. I love that. Dumpster juice and toxicity spans a wide spectrum. Facts. So I want to say this. I was reading, because the thing is that a lot of people reference LSA as it only relates to the beef sector. And to me, that thread is like nothing compared to the other threads on LSA. There's so much stuff. There's so many discussions. That's where I find out a lot of stuff. And then I'd like cross-reference it to make sure this is a real news story. Okay. So there's a subreddit category. There's a Reddit category that is Am I the Asshole? I think I posted a story from that before. I'm not on Reddit, but occasionally read there. But LSA had a subreddit post about this woman. Now, this woman shared about how her husband's family will go to dinner and they don't invite her. And the other daughter-in-law gets invited every time. So I said, wait, what? Then we find out that she left out information. She's biracial and her husband is white. Okay, excuse me. And apparently that's a layer that she added later on. And it's like people were trying to tell her like, ma'am, it sounds like his family's racist. And then he was defending his family. Oh yeah. So what she did, this is what happened. The reason why she asked him out of asshole. They had their little dinner. This time she wasn't invited. Sometimes she is, sometimes she isn't. And it was at a restaurant. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? If my husband, listen, first of all, I ain't never getting with nobody like that, black, white, purple. But there's no fucking way. You got to pay attention to the signs. That's why you date people for a while. If you are about that marriage path, you got to do your homework. You got to see how people treat you. You can't just enter into any interracial relationship. And if you decide that you're going to get with somebody who's outside of your race and they racist as fuck, okay, even if your partner's not racist, you're going to have to do some deciding. You can't just be blinded by love and be like, it'll work itself out. You better make sure your partner is riding with you into the sunset. You need to make sure your partner is the type of person that if their family member need to be checked, that if you need to stop going to certain events for a while or forever, that they're going to have your back. Don't wait to get married to find that shit out. This is what I don't understand. But you know what? There's also a lot of Black and sometimes biracial people who their mind is in the clouds. They don't think it's real. They don't think it's an issue, or they think because they light skin, they're not gonna have these issues. Racism is racism. My sidebar is do your research. Know the family you're going into. Okay, especially if you're in an interracial relationship, because your kids are going to be around those people, and you got to think about all that. But anyway, let me get back to the story. So this lady is biracial, and they be inviting her to the dinner once in a while, but they go out all the time. The family, the other daughter-in-law is invited and shit. And so she decided, oh, I'm finna get them. So she knew what restaurant they were going to. She showed up to the restaurant, ordered herself a steak, and sat in a different. She was hoping to be seated in the same room, but she was seated in a different room. So then at the end, she decided that she was going to walk by their table. She finishes her dinner and she walks by the table, and then the husband was there, the daughter-in-law, the other brother, and the mom, and I'm guessing the dad. I don't know. The mom is going to say, the mother-in-law is going to say, I don't know if she said it directly to her or to the husband, oh, that's rude that you're interrupting our dinner, bitch. I said, what? I mean, my blood was boiling. Listen to this poor woman. And then she got the nerve to be like, am I the asshole? No, sweetie, they're the asshole. The only thing you're guilty of is for being blind. So then she left, and then she said her husband basically cussed her out and stuff. I was like, I can't believe you did that. And and I said, girl, what? I just couldn't believe it. But then when I found out the layers that she was biracial and all this other stuff, and people were like, it sounds like they're racist, honey. It just, I'm saying all this to say, whether you are married or not, if you choose to get in a relationship, you got to pay attention to certain things. That young woman would have seen signs. There's no way you're telling me that you didn't see that his family was trash. And is he going to have your back? You never want to marry somebody who's not going to have your back. You don't even want to be in a relationship like that. I would never be with somebody like that. Okay? Not all interracial relationships are for me. Okay? So this is why I caution people that I think you should love who you love, and I just so happen to end up in an interracial relationship, but that wasn't my goal and mission in life. I wasn't like, oh, fuck all Black men, they trash. You know what I'm saying? So I think that narrative could get very, very slippery. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you know who you're with, whether you choose to be married or not. Make sure you do your research. And sometimes we can't know everything. Some things literally come out with time. I get it. But toxicity is toxicity. Those people would have been acting a damn fool before you decided to be in a relationship. There would have been signs. Don't ignore the signs. I had a friend, she's Brazilian. And excuse me. And she's like lighter skin. And I remember she was talking about some stuff she was going experiencing at work. And she was going on. And I said, well, so it sounds like they're probably racist. Girl, when I tell you, she did not want to hear that. She got in her fifis, honey. You would have thought I said, fuck you. It was almost like she thought there's no possible way I could be racist. And I'm gonna tell you, she didn't say this, but this is how I interpreted it. I think she felt because she was lighter skinned and she was not Black. I think she thought that shit only happened to Black people. She kept telling me these stories, and I'm like, girl, they racist as fuck. I'm like, are there any other people of color in your job? No, I'm the only one. Are there any other people who are from another country at your job? No, I'm the only one. And they would say microaggressive shit to her and racist, and they would treat her in a way that led me to believe that it was racism. And it was almost like she got offended that I said this to her. And then I took notes, and I said, some people don't want to learn. They don't want to be taught. When I saw that was how she responded, I was like, okay, taking notes. I know what type of person you are. And I took notes and I got the fuck on. And I'm not saying I wasn't friends with her no more, but I was like, I just listened when she would tell me these stories. I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. You know, it sounds like you're going through a tough time. I just pulled the therapist card on her ass. I just like validated her and reflected shit. I'm not giving you no input because you're sitting up here thinking that you're exempt from racism because you're light skinned and you're a Latina. Well, no, she's not Latina. She's Brazilian. So I said, okay, girl. And then eventually, you know what happened to her? What ended up happening to the girl was they kept fucking with her, and then she got pregnant. And then she was trying to be nice and she told them, she didn't give them a written notice. Okay. She told them that she was pregnant and that she was going to be working like another 2 months. You know what the people them do? These motherfuckers, the same lady that was like the head of the microaggressive assaults towards her, gonna sit her down one day, was like, oh yeah, so and so, yeah, we just wanted to like have a goodbye party for you, and you know, because we know you're leaving, you know, you're gonna be done in 2 weeks. Like I'm paraphrasing. She was planning to be there for 2 more months, and these people took that as her notice, even though the lady knew that wasn't her notice, and they got rid of her ass. But let her tell it wasn't racism, though. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? There's people out there that's in denial, guys. There's people out there that don't understand. They're not paying attention. They don't understand the assignment. Okay? And it's just, it was sad. I didn't say shit to her about no racism after that. I was like, girl, you gonna learn the hard way. And she did. She lost her job before she was getting ready to go out. And I just can't believe that she actually got upset that I told her that it was racism. Could you believe that shit? Anyway, let me read these comments. Tiffany said, I find out a lot of ish via LSA too. I've been a registered looking farm for years. Yes, I love LSA. I love it. Sometimes it's a lot of toxicity over there, but sometimes I read certain titles, I'm like, nope, not reading that. Or sometimes the title be good, and then you get in there and people be arguing about petty shit. I'm like, are you serious? And then I just exit the scene. So I'm with you, Tiffany. I love it. Kenley said, I need a lesson on LSA. I tried it 3 years ago and it wasn't user friendly. You know what? Excuse me, Kaylin. They changed the platform a little bit. It's really not bad. So what I remember is when you get on, you can't react. I don't know if this is the same. You can't react to posts. You can only read it, I think. But and maybe hit like. I don't even think you can hit like. You can't do certain reactions. You have to wait to earn privileges, and then eventually you can. You can post, you can write posts and stuff and respond, but you can't react, and then eventually you're fine. And I'm trying to think what else. Like I don't follow anything because I don't like notifications. Like it's just too much. So I just like to scroll. I like to check out the trending tab, sometimes the new post tab. That's really where I get a lot of stuff. I find out a lot of stuff. Excuse me. And then if I find something that's interesting, like that med school story, the story about the med student who like was bragging about what she did. That's where I found it was LSA. And then I just like cross-referenced it to see, okay, is this real or not? And then I like break it down and look for sources. So that's how I do it. Lady Tia said, I'm black. I got to, I'm back. Sorry. I got to replay the internet shut off. Bad weather. That's okay. That's okay, sis. Thanks for coming back. I don't care who you love. Just make sure they are loving you right. Facts. Star in this comment right here. Absolutely, Lady Tia, all day. And that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, all the blacks who I know have biracial children actually have anti-black sentiments. And there are people like that, guys. It's very sad. Very sad. They wanted pretty-haired, light-skinned babies. It's very, very sad. To each their own. The non-blacks are black. It's really sad. There are people like that. Black Swan is not lying. I have come across them. I told you on my one cousin was like, oh yeah, you know, and I'm like, did you think I got with this man because I want my children to look a certain way? And it was just, it's so crazy how people do think like that. It's very, very sad. And there are people who think they're better, but then there's also people who are raising their kids right. And they're teaching them and they're, helping them through. Like, it's so sad, the layers there. But Lady Tia said, I got lost on LSA a few years ago and left. You can get lost. I mean, excuse me. I don't notice that now, but maybe it's because I'm very particular. And also you could save forums. So like what I do is I don't really save threads. I used to save threads, but it's overwhelming. I save forums. So like there are probably 3 or 4 forums that I will frequent. And so I will save those, and then I will just, because not everything will come up in trending. And then from time to time, I'll go, 1 second, guys. I'm finishing up my live. No, it's okay. Um, so I will go in and I will save those, and it'll be easy to go and back and find like articles and stuff that I like. That's what I do. So there's like little tips and tricks. There's way more stuff you can do on LSA. I just don't do it. Also, I did not know. I'm gonna tell y'all one last story, then I gotta go. I did not know that there's a feature where you can, like, it's called incognito. So you can go incognito and write a post. I've never done this. And then people don't know who you are. So this is, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. So I would see incognito pop up. I thought that was just a font over there. What's their IGs? Who are you talking about, Sarah? I would see incognito pop up, and it would be all kinds of crazy titles like, oh, I hid from my partner that I have HIV, or just some crazy stuff, like just really crazy, like fucked up stories. And then I was getting fed up because I was like, wait, this person is always at the center of drama. How is it that they're experiencing all of these things? And I was getting mad, and I was getting like, yo, they scamming the girls, they gooping the kids. So I was getting mad, and then finally one day I was like, excuse me, you've said a lot of stories that don't make any sense. I'm confused. And then they laughed at me so hard. I had no idea that incognito was a setting that anybody could use. I thought incognito was a person. I said incognito is a messy bitch. I'm like, incognito, how is it that you got all this stuff going on? And I didn't know it was a setting. Child, I felt so stupid. So ever since then, now I treat it individual. And I'm like, I do think there's people that make up incognito posts. They just want to be outrageous and they just say crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I felt dumb as hell. I'm not gonna lie. So I've definitely had my times where I felt dumb on LSA. I had no idea. So anyway, Sarah, if you tell me, I need to know what you're talking about because I'm gonna go soon. Excuse me. Lady Tia said, I don't think about my kids here, but to hear women will have kids with another race for the sake of good hair, it's careless if you don't know where that other race stance is and have good foundation. Facts. And this is exactly what I was talking about, Lady Tia. Excellent point. Some people don't know because they're those are the people I'm talking about, the self-haters. They're only focused on the hue of their kid's skin and their hair or whatever else, and they don't think about the other implications, the struggles, because biracial kids go through a lot of stuff too. Don't get it twisted. Okay, some of them aren't accepted by either side. Like there's so many things that people go through that people don't consider. Like I've had a lot of excuse me, I've had a lot of biracial clients, and there's a lot of struggles. So people be like, oh, they got it so good. That's not true. There's a lot of emotional struggles. You know what I'm saying? But that's another topic in another video. But you need to know who you're with, and you need to understand, like this, I've said this in an old video. You can't just get with anybody. You can't just get with anybody. And hey, Miss Tiva, you can't just get with anybody outside your race and just assume that they're well informed, that they're multiculturally competent. You got to do that work to figure that out. Okay, I would never be with my husband if he was out here and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that racism existed." I would never be with somebody like that. So, you know, sometimes I blame people too, because I'm like, well, girl, did you have these conversations with your man? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean they're not inviting you to the family dinner? It could never be me. Anyway, let me stay on topic because I'm trying to close up. LSA makes me feel stupid. I can't navigate it. No, you'll get it. You'll get it because I felt like that in the beginning too. I left and didn't come back. It can be a little toxic though. Excuse me. That's why I said I stay away from certain posts because it's toxic. And this is why I say people just reference LSA. They be talking about beef chucking. I'm like, that thread ain't even like that's toxic. That's a toxic thread. Sometimes it's funny, but it's like there's way better stuff on LSA. I'm just saying. Miss Eva. Tiffany said exactly. Do the work and vet beyond the surface and the self-hate. Absolutely. Do the work. You know what? I've intentionally had triggering conversations with my husband just to see what he gonna say when we were dating. Okay. Y'all need to do the work and cut the bullshit. Anyway, but yes, I got my water here. It's this pesky cough. It won't go away. I've been taking my Ricolas. It's just a mess, y'all. I'm so sorry. But listen, I gotta go. Tiffany said LSA is how I found the beef sector. See? Tiffany. Listen, the beef sector thread, it goes up and down. It's so funny to me, but it's like I'm trying to think, that was I on there before that? Or did I'm trying to think. I don't remember. But I know that once I discovered the other threads, I was like, oh, there's a whole nother world out here. It's great. So Black Swan said, I'm way harder on the biracials in my family than I am full blacks. The biracial privilege will always get them a pass. And I think it is important to make sure that information is passed on, right? To like our biracial family members, whether they're cousins or kids. Like I want my kid to know, like to learn all the things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so many layers. It's so many layers. And I think it is the responsibility of the parents and family members to do that, right? Like to make sure they know. You know, I have a couple cousins, they're adopted, they're indigenous. And I remember I was talking to my male cousin, and he is Métis. And so he looks, if you look at him, you just think he's white, but he's indigenous. Like I'm pretty sure both of his parents, but I think both of his parents are indigenous. But anyway, I've sat him down and be like, look, okay, even though you might understand, like, because I don't know how deep he studies his own history and lineage, but I talked to him about the fact that you look white, you have white privilege, and you need to be aware of that. And because he was telling me some story about one of his white friends, and they were like cracking inappropriate jokes, and it sounded racist. And I was like, "Did you check them about that?" And he was like, "Well," and that's when I was like, "Look, you need to understand that because of the way you look, people not going to know. They might not know unless you tell them that you're indigenous." And you like, I was like trying to help him to understand, like, no, you can't attack and school everybody. That's not what I'm saying. But like, don't just sit there and go along with stuff, because then you're also contributing to that. But anyway, we've had some really good conversations, but I just think it's important, like, to be honest about that. Lady Tia said, have a great day, everyone. Got to catch the beginning, rewind later. Bye, Lady Tia. Thanks for stopping by, sis. Glad you talked about this. May he rest in peace, and may she be arrested. Facts. And that's the end of it. May he rest in peace. May this heifer be arrested. Okay. I gotta go. I love y'all. Thanks for being here. This was a great conversation, and I'd love to do it again soon. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.